Hey, St. Patrick's, great to be with you on this Wednesday, November, what is it, 7th? Yeah, Wednesday, November 7th. Hey, a couple things to pass on to you in this week's newsletter. Remember that we are moving to Apostles this Sunday. It's our first worship service there, and worship will begin at 4:30. And our pattern for the liturgy and worship is going to be just like we always do it. Especially when I note that for kids ministry, you'll be able to take nursery and toddler kids to their space before service. You want to make time for that. Many of you have been to Apostles before, and you know that you go upstairs into the children's wing to use that space. Our welcome table people will be there, and they'll help direct you if that's new for you. Second, we'll have children's church and encounter as we normally do, and they'll be dismissed after the opening music, and then come back for communion. Now, I do want to say that our team probably has to figure out kind of how much time it takes to get organized and get up there and get back. So the first few weeks you might see the kids come back a little later than normal, possibly. So if you just be patient with that, that'd be awesome. So they can work out those details. That's want to note that. Second, when you come into worship, you should see green signs at each of the driveways with arrows. And if you're inviting friends, you can encourage them to watch for those. And then we'll have sandwich board signs by the two front entrances that walk up from the sidewalk. There's an entrance in the front that you can sort of walk around to, but we won't have a sandwich board there, although that door will be open. And then we'll have a sandwich board in the back parking lot in that space. Again, for those of you who have been there, that's between the sanctuary and the educational space, where probably most of us will come in. There'll be a sandwich board sign there directing people. Should be plenty of parking. You can park anywhere in the parking lot. And of course, there's street parking as well if you want to park there. So I want to note that. Also want to remind you that we're going to have a new music director, new for now. He's been with us before. Dylan Matthews, my son, is going to be working with us as long as we're at Apostles, and as long as we're in an evening worship space. He's able to kind of do that as an extra sideline for him. Helps us, helps me, and just is going to be good for our worship team to move forward with that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to let you know right now. Oh yeah, one last thing is, and I'll mention this on Sunday, but this is really a word to parents with younger kids. The space we're in now is different, as you know, than Lighthouse. So probably have to observe some practices around that. One is it's really not a space that's good for running. So I'm going to ask parents to just be attentive to your own kids and manage them so they're not running around. There's some expensive things in the sanctuary, baptismal font, etc. As always, we're asking that kids don't wander up on the altar, so I want to manage them not doing that as well. Secondly, the children's wing is a wing that we really want to ask that kids only go to only go to with adults, with parents. We have some rooms we can use. There's one room they have that's set apart for a special purpose, and we're really not supposed to be in there because basically if we break anything, we're probably not going to be able to use it anymore. So nice place. We're going to close those doors and try to make it so folks can't go in there. But really what I just need to ask is it's a big place also. There's a whole basement area, and it'd be wise for you not let kids run down there by themselves. They could get lost, they could get hurt. Just wise not to do that. So I'm going to ask parents, probably it's going to be a bit of a culture change, but as you're with your children before and after service, just be with them and encourage them to they can sit in the pews, they can walk around the foyer in the hallway. They can enjoy the time, but just to try to be with you and just kind of watch so they're not running, so we don't have anything broken, and two, they're not wandering off into other wings, so we lose track of them. I think that's going to be really important. But we can't, I can't do that, and staff can't do that, so we're going to have to ask parents to be attentive to that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think I've mentioned this before that it'll take a few weeks to get used to the new space. We're going to go ahead and do communion. Serve communion the way we normally do, where you walk up and receive through November. Then, because they have a communion rail during Advent, we're going to use that way of serving. And then we'll want to hear feedback just from you all, kind of what you prefer. And if half of us love the rail and half of us love walking up, then probably staff will just have to make a decision about that, which way to do it. But at least at Advent, we're going to use the rail, but we need a little time to retrain our chalice bearers so they feel comfortable doing that. So at first, we're going to do it the way we typically do it at Lighthouse, where you walk up and receive and walk back to your seat. Okay, I think that's really it. So I'm looking forward to being there on Sunday. Just look at the announcements below. You'll note that 3 things that are coming up. One is Thanksgiving Common Meal, and there's a Sign Up Genius link for that. You wanna check that. We need a lot of folks to just chip in, not just food, but set up, take down, clean up. That's gonna be really important. So that's November 18, our second Sunday at Apostles, and then 2 days later is our November Dining with Dignity, and I'm excited that Barbara and Renard Sales are going to be the point people for leading that team. So we need folks to sign up for that. And you'll see in the announcement that we're looking for 3 people to come at 5:30 who can help dish up food and then stay to serve, and then 5 more to come at 5:55 to just serve food. And then we should be done before 7. The guys that live at Nehemiah House, they're going to come and do the dishes. They're going to come and clean the tables, put up the chairs, mop the floors. That's not our job anymore. So we just basically have to dish up food and serve it. And so it's a great opportunity just to be available to love and serve people in need. And then lastly, December 16, over a month from now, is our Lessons and Carols worship. And I've already been in conversation with Dylan about organizing that. We've had some folks sign up for choir, musicians sign up. That's going to be a great service. Also, our hospitality team, I think the point person is going to be Katie Hodge in this. We're going to have what I call refreshments and steroids, awesome, cool Christmas refreshments, and we'll have the fellowship hall to use for that. And then lastly, I'm encouraging everyone to treat this as an invite day. In the next few Sundays, you're going to begin to get. I'm going to give some tools to each one of us, a half sheet that gives some real specifics about how to go ahead and pray for someone, invite them, a card to write down who you plan to invite, and some invites that you can use to personally invite, bring, and host people, or welcome and host people to come be with us. I'm just, I don't have any Holy Spirit on this. I just picked a number, but it seems like it's something it would be a big reach for us to do, but it's possible. I'm praying that God will give us 50 first-time visitors that night. And what's going to happen is that's going to create a space for them through the Christmas carols, through the scripture readings, and through a short homily to just hear the gospel through the clothing of Christmas. And so any friends you invite, if they're not Christ followers, they're going to get a fresh presentation of the gospel, and we're going to offer hospitality and welcome them. Any friends you have who are disciples but maybe aren't church right now, it's going to give them a chance to check our church out. It's one of the easiest ways to do outreach and mission to people in our lives. And I say this all the time, and for those of you that hate numbers and statistics, I know this kind of feels cold, but I love this stuff, so you don't have to bear with me on it. But my understanding, what I've read, is that basically right now in North America, over 70% of people who are not churched, say they would really not be offended and welcome an invitation from a friend or a family member, someone they know already, to come to church, and they're very likely to say yes to come with them. Now, seeing a billboard, seeing a Facebook post, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll just put a generic Facebook post out. Problem with that is it goes to your Facebook friends. Maybe some of the people we reach out to aren't Facebook, but it's still not personal. It's still passive and open. But when you make a personal and a best verbal invite, and you offer to either bring or at least welcome and host someone, people are really likely to come to church still in our culture. And it's a great way for us to reach out, minister, and you never know who might decide to stick around and go, I might re-engage with the Lord, or I might explore the Lord for the first time hanging out with these people. And I promise I'm going to do everything I can not to embarrass your friends, and give a clear, simple message I think that you'll benefit from and they'll be encouraged by, and then we'll invite them to come back. So anyway, that's coming, and I think it'll be good for us as we go to Apostles. So with that, this is a long video, so I'm done for this week. Looking forward to seeing everyone on Sunday, and hey, it's at 4:30 in the afternoon, so you shouldn't have to sleep in. So I'm looking forward to seeing a big group there. God bless and have a great week. Bye.